we came home from the burial. We came home. A lot of my family came back here to here afterward, and um, Michelle pulled up and she said, Can they move the car off of the lawn?" Okay, I said,
Yeah,
"Okay,
yeah.
yeah, you can move it." So then she turned to me and say, "How's James doing?" I said, "Michelle, we buried James today." "Oh, you have to go. You have to go. I told you when James died, you had to leave." I said, "Michelle," I said, "can't you show me some kind of respect today because I just buried him? I'll decide how much respect you get." So I got like, okay, Michelle. I said, "Okay, Michelle." I said, "Look, I can't talk to you anymore right now. I can't talk to you anymore right now." So I walked on up the steps. All right. So my family was all out there by the road, and they said, "Anna, what's the matter?" And I told her, and they said she came here today and said that. Okay. So then my sister died like almost a month ago. Okay. So then I gets a letter in there stating I had to go to court. So it was like traumatizing me. I said, I'm going through so much. I've been through so much in the last, since April up until now, I've been going through a lot. I've been, you know,
How long were you and James living together?
me and James been together for 31 years. Been together for 31 years. And like I said, when he was living, we paid the bill, paid the rent on time. She's stating that we was always back late in the rent, which was a lie because I always wanted to pay the rent between the first and the third of the month because she gets one check on the first and one check on the third. So I always try to pay it by the third.
Well, you actually have until the 10th.
Yes,
And
yeah.
you're not even late until
Yeah.
you have missed your second payment.
Yes.
So,
So anyway, she put that up. I said, "Michelle, when have I been late like that with the rent?" I said, "The time when I told you that he had to take that $300 and send it to his kids, I told you that we paid on the furnace," which I told a little bit. Understand? I didn't want her to know that he had to send the money down there. But
none of our business.
that does not excuse her talking to me like I'm an animal or something. No respect at all. And then when she came up on the step, and he was, before he died, that all came out about the $300 rent. And she asked to bring him to the door. I said, "Michelle, he can't come to the door. He's in the chair. He can't move. He can't walk. I have to push him in the wheelchair." He had the aide sitting right there. So she turned around, looked at the aide, said, "Can he come to the door?" She said, "No, he can't come to the door. He can't
How
get up."
how long how far before he passed was that happening?
Okay, he passed, I say, a month or so after
Oh,
that.
so he was just on he was
He was
on
on
his
his way. He was on
deathbed.
his way out because he had hospice.
And why did she want him to come to the door?
She wanted him to come to the door to ask him, talking about some, well, do you know Anna was short $300 in the rent? And he said, "I know." He said, "You will get your money on the first." So on the first, when I gave him the six, I gave him the $300 also. I paid it all off.
Right.
Okay, like that. So when he died, all the rent was paid. Then when the first came, I was taking her the $600, 604, to her. She didn't want it. She said, "I'm taking you to court." And I said, first, I said, "Okay, I'm going down to the courthouse." And so then she said, "Okay." So then I said, "No, I'm not going down there and do nothing. Let you do it. That's your job
You
to do
start
it.
it. Right.
Do it." So she went down. And so I went to the police station and I told the police I was crying so bad. And my niece said, "Come on, I'm gonna take you to the police station." So I went to the police station, and my niece told the police what was going on, what happened. So the police asked me, "Do you have the letter that he wrote that you got a lifetime home?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Well, look, they can't do nothing. They can't put you out." So he said, "Go home and relax and calm down and relax." He said, "If they come to your door, call us
Call
on the phone
911.
and we'll be here
Right.
ASAP."
Right.
So I said, "Okay." So they must have called her because she didn't really bother me anymore after that. Then I got Suffolk Law Firm to go in there, and then she talked to the people, and then their lawyer, she wanted to sell it that day. She wanted to get me evicted that day out. They said no, they was gonna postpone it, so they postponed. Then we went back to court, and the agreement was that if I said, "James, you asked me to do one thing, And I said, you asked me to bring you home to die. I said, I did it. I brought you here. The hospital people told me, say, are you sure you could take on the responsibility? It's hard. It's a hard responsibility. I said, I'm going to do it because he asked me to do it. So I brought him home. The people brought him in the ambulance home. I came home. Came home. It was right there at that window there. I had the bed, hospital bed there. And, I mean, I had to give him morphine. I had to give him some other kind of medicine to relax him. And I had to feed him. Just feed him because he would waste everything everywhere. I had to feed him. Then they had a girl come in 4 hours a day to give me a break. Then I took and said, I said, James, I said, I love you. I said, but, I'm getting under stress. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to get angry with you because you can't help the way you are. I said, but I need to go back to church. So I called the aide that was here. She said, call to the hospice people and ask them, can they get somebody to come in on Sunday so you can go to church? So I called them, and she said, well, it's late now. I can't get anybody by Sunday for you to go to church. She said, so I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to come myself. And this is one of the nurses. She came and sit with him while I went to church.
Good people.
Then that next Sunday, they had a girl come in here 4 hours. So I go to church. She came 11 o'clock, and like 2 o'clock, I get like 1:30, 2 o'clock, I get out of church. And she said, no, she said, when you get out of church, she said, you go and sit down and have your meal and relax yourself. I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. I'm here.
Yeah.
So when I came home, I mean, I had clothes in the wash machine. She hung the clothes out for me. She had cleaned my kitchen. She had did so much. And I said, oh my God. I said, y'all is from heaven. I said, and so that night that he died, we were sitting up here. Me and my sister had a table over there. We was playing cards because he was right there. He always wanted me right in front of him. So we was playing cards. So then he called me over to the bed. And he said, Anna, come over to the bed. Sit down. And he grabbed my hand. And he said, I love you. And he said, would you just rub my back, rub my arms and stuff till I go to sleep? So I'm just rubbing him. And he closed his eyes. So I thought he went to sleep. So then my son came home. So I said, I'm going to the store. Okay? And I said, and I never leave the house. I don't care. When I went to church, I always woke him up to let him know I was going. And I went to wake him up to tell him, James, I'm going to the store. James. And I kept calling him. He wouldn't respond to me. So I picked his arm up. When I picked it up, it dropped right back down. And I started hollering. And then my sister said, Anna, he gone. I said, no, he's not. So my son came blind out the room. Mommy, what's the matter? I said, I can't get no response out of James. So he did it. And he said, Mommy, he got a pulse still. He got a pulse still. And so by the time I had called the hospital people, she said, I'll be right there. And so he said, Mom, he got a heartbeat. And so then come find out that was him. He was so nervous that it was his,
It was his heartbeat,
his
yes.
pulse like that. So anyway, so she came and she checked it and she said, he's gone. And so then I just lost it. And my son grabbed me, Mommy, you gonna make yourself sick, Mommy, you gonna make yourself sick. So I sit here, and she told me to call the family and have the family come here and see him, say their goodbye to him. So the ones I called, nobody showed up, so she let him stay here 3 hours. So then we tried to get in touch with C, and we couldn't. So my son, he got in his car and he went and to C's and got them, and they came in. And when he came in, he told me to go in the back room. He said, go all the way in the back. So I went back, and then that's when they brought the thing in. And I came up to right about there, and I peeped, and I seen them put them in the bag.
Oh, God.
And I ran up and I screamed. I said, no, don't put him in that bag. And they
God.
grabbed me. The other one grabbed me and put me to it. I said, that's why I told you stay in the back. I know you was gonna get really upset. So they put him in the bag. So I went out to the hearse with him.
Anna, I've been through so much, and good people just do not deserve to be treated like this.